Welcome to the Ultimate Landscape CEO podcast. Today, this week, is the Special Olympics version. I'm going to share with you 10 lessons you can apply, I guarantee, in your business, inspired by the Olympics 2026 this year. Before I dive in, just want to mention that we're having our sales symposium March 10th. Two great speakers, if you haven't checked them out, Neil Glatt and Josh Robinson. Josh is a repeat presenter from a few years ago, runs a massive sales organization. You're going to learn really a ton. And our early bird discount is coming up very shortly. And so if you want to sign up and save some money, go to my website, jeffreyscott.biz, go to the events page. It'll take you to our sales symposium. I'm very excited by the presenters that will be presenting along with me at that symposium. It's virtual. You can bring your sales team. It's one ticket per person. It'll be interactive. We're doing benchmarking as well of key sales numbers. So really quite a bit to dive in. And I hope to see you there. And so now let's talk about the Olympics. It's been a fantastic Olympics. And I think the initial early star of the show was Lindsey Vonn. This woman is crazy. She had a torn ACL, and she's like, I'm going to race anyways. And then she crashed out and broke. She needs surgery and multiple surgeries. And I think she broke her bones in multiple places, her fibia or whichever bone it was. And so what's the lesson for you? The lesson is, what a leader. Oh my God. Do you have a leader in your business who goes out regardless of the pain, or in your case, the weather and the hard work, and still pushes themselves to the limit? We had somebody like that back when I was running my business, and we had a pool service division, and we had an average field manager, and we were able to recruit this guy, Scott Rosa. And he just raised the bar on everybody. We made him co-field manager, and he was a monster. He could outwork everybody. He was smart, didn't complain, had the attitude, and he really came up through the ranks quickly, but he raised up the other field manager and everybody below him. And our entire department got more productive. So if you don't have that person in your company, then that person's you as a leader who out front will go out with the troops and show them what needs to be done no matter the weather. They'll get in the trenches with them, so to speak. I'm not saying you should work there day to day, but being that Lindsey Vonn leader and also looking for that type of leader in your company to raise the bar on everybody. So that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, teams go faster and they go farther. There's an old African saying that if you want to go faster, run alone. If you want to go farther, run in a group. And while it sounds logical, I'm not sure it's true. I was watching the team ice skating sport, 3 men, and I think they have it with women, obviously, skating around the rink together. And the front person is, breaking the wind, and the others are drafting behind them and even pushing them. And I think they went faster than you could go individually. And so do you have that type of team synergy in your company where your people train together? Obviously, they work together. Do they celebrate together? Do they play together? Do they cheer each other on and willing to step in and help each other? That's what it takes to win. That team spirit. I think it's just what I learned watching the Olympics is it's more fun in teams. I watched the documentary for the Miracle on Ice, and they showed the original people that are still alive from that 1980 team that beat the Russians. And I mean, if you won your own medal as an individual 50 years ago, where do you keep that medal? probably in your sock drawer. And that's no joke. But the memories you have will live forever. And so that is your job as a leader in your company, is to create those team memories so that nobody feels like an individual, but they feel like they're part of something bigger and more important, where they can't let their team down, where as a team they're really pushing and cheering each other on. And sure, it happens on the job, but a lot of it happens in the training, in the celebrating, in the playing, in the meetings before you go out for the day, and things like that. And so that's my challenge to you: is create that team that can go farther and faster. Number 3, the coach is on the dang sidelines. This is where you can insert a swear word. The coach is on the frickin' sidelines. You saw that. I saw it was it in the luge? I saw it in the 3-men racing, where they're racing around. The American team, they won silver, but they were sort of the favorites. And then they got behind the Italians. And the coach has this arrow sign telling them, "You're behind. Speed up." That coach is on the sidelines, right? He's training you, or she, and then they're mentoring you personally. They're cheering you on. They're giving you feedback when you're off course. You can't do that if you're a player coach. So I'm talking to all you player coaches out there. Watch the Olympics. Look at the coaches. It's clear. You want to build an Olympic winning team, you have to be a coach. You can't just be the player. You're not replicating yourself. You're ignoring the other people, really, from what they really need. And that's also where you lose people, when you don't have the time and effort to get the best and the most out of them. That's when you lose them too. So multiply yourself by being that coach. Number 4, it was interesting to see the real-time scoring. It was eye-opening. Even in the figure skating, you could see the scoring happening real time. That's not how it was in the old days, when Nadia Comaneci was doing her gymnastics, and think about some of the other famous people back there, where when they were all done, they would hold up the 9 and 10 and 8 and hold up the scores. Real time scoring. You can have the same in your business, right? You don't have to wait for the end of the month to see how you're doing. You can have KPIs in the middle of the week. You can see it on your software. You can do it on flip charts at the end of every day. Derek Wells, who's on our leadership team here, he's one of our executive coaches at Jeffrey Scott Consulting. Does it on flip charts. It's very tangible for his team. They have to write out their KPIs. He teaches them how to do the math and real-time scoring, and with real buy-in there. There's no reason you can't have real-time scoring. Number 5, the leaderboard, right? What happens when the first person goes down the luge and puts up a score? Now, and even if it's like one of the leaders and it's like, oh, that's the best score since blah, blah, blah. But no, other people go out and beat the score because it's up on the leaderboard. Everyone in your company should be able to see their leaderboard. Every company listening should have a screens TV, flat screen TV with forced ranking and how crews, for example, are doing in a given week. You don't even have to put money to it. It's the pride of winning, right? People aren't in the Olympics for money. I mean, some are for sure. People get inspired and want just the pride of winning, and your teams will as well. I'm not saying don't do incentives. This is not a talk about incentives. This is a talk about getting people engaged and getting their ego engaged and their pride engaged. Just start putting up a leaderboard and see what happens. People will pay attention. They'll hang out by the board. They'll be talking to each other. When you change the leaderboard the week after. They'll want to see who's on top. There'll be bragging rights. It's a great way to get people engaged. And obviously, from there, you can add incentives and other things. But people are naturally curious and naturally competitive. That's number 5. So, number 6, it's been amazing for me to see how Italy, I never thought of them as a winter sport king, but they're in second place. But at the time of me recording this, with the medals, Norway is crushing it, as they always do. Those Norwegians are born with skis and snow boots on. But Italy has stepped up. They're number 2. They've got the home team advantage. And what I want to share with you here today is all of you have your own home team advantage. You have it inherently. You just don't know it or recognize it, and you're not taking advantage of it. What is your competitive advantage in your company? Is it your facility? Is that your home team advantage? Is it some core service you do better than anyone else in your community? Is it some other competitive advantage you have? This is something you should be promoting and building up with the same pride that Italy has towards the upcoming Olympics, which are now happening, and they had the home team advantage. You should be talking about your advantage, honing your advantage, training on your advantage, tracking how others in your community are doing compared to you on whatever this advantage is, and really creating a built-in inspiration on this core competence or core advantage you have, where people are rallying around it. Number 7, the American skating team that I told you about, the group of 3, the announcers were sharing with us that these guys individually were just average people who got together as a team, and with their coach, they created a new way of skating, by the way, which has actually totally revolutionized how all these teams now do this team skating. And I think they were favored to win. And they've been winning a lot of tournaments with just average guys who figured out a great technique together with their coach, and they've just been killing it. And so you hear this as kind of a cliche, right? That you can, a great coach can take average people and get better results. And it's been proven in the Army, right? Where they have SEAL teams and they change out the leaders of the teams, and great leaders get great results regardless of the team. And here we saw it with the Olympics. And so it also speaks to working smarter, not harder. These guys have the talent to work harder, but I don't think they weren't the very best. In fact, Italy finally beat them with more physical talent, once everyone else started figuring out their techniques. But they're able to work smarter. And with the coach, he was able to take what I'll just call B+ players, or A-, right? And get the most out of them. And so by you working smarter and hiring better coaches, you're going to get more productivity and more thinking out of the general manpower and crews that you have in your company. That's number 7. Number 8 out of 10, performance over convenience. The Olympians and the Olympics are structured. Everything is structured around live performance. But business owners sometimes get lazy and structure their businesses and their processes around convenience. And we see this more and more, where we're becoming more employee focused. And I think we've become a little bit lazy in some companies, where we've done too much for the employee and the employee's lifestyle, and we forget about the client. I guarantee you that the companies in your community that are client facing in their approach are the companies that will win. And so what does client facing mean? And by the way, I don't mean ignoring your employees or making them feel like second class citizens, but I am talking about a culture that's totally client facing. I'm going to give you examples on how to do this. When you have your kickoff, invite a client to come and give the keynote. Invite clients to other meetings throughout the year to talk about their experiences working with you. Put the client in front of the employees, right? And publish client metrics like the NPS score. Make that public, not just how are we doing profit wise, but make the client metrics equally important and equally present and talk about them as well. Have photos of your clients enjoying your work that you do. It's great to show photos of employees. Totally. I mean, I'm 100%. That's what you should do. But add client photos, right? Real clients, real photos involved in your business and helping you develop and hone your skill as a leader of a performance driven business where it's performance over convenience. Number 9, margins matter. Oh my God. It's amazing to see how in all these sports, you win by a tenth of a second, 100th of a second. Just amazing to see these competitors fight for seconds. And that's what it takes in our industry. We're in production where we've got to be efficient, where markups are tight, margins are tight. And if you want to perform better, everyone's got to give their 100%. And the management has to look for efficiencies. So it's not just about working harder, but also about educating your team so they can work smarter. And I think this really has to be a part of every leader's job description. Let's take the sales manager. I told you we're doing a sales symposium coming up, and I'll put that into the notes, the show notes, if you want to get the link to sign up for that. And I'll be interviewing, and we'll have sales managers, sales leaders on that symposium. And what is a sales manager's job? Yes, it's accountability. Yes, it's recruiting. Yes, it's strategy and training, but it's also being an efficiency expert. You have a sales leader, and your job is to help every salesperson figure out how to run one more lead per day, right? One more appointment. Get back to leads in 3 days and not 6 days, just for example. How to be more efficient in all that they do so that they can sell more, revenue more, make clients happier, so they can earn more commission, right? It's all win-win. A sales manager's job is to be an efficiency expert, just like it is in operations. Your production leaders should always be working on finding efficiencies and ways to do things smoothly. It's not just about making the trains run on time and making sure you're fully staffed, but it's about, okay, the train's working. Now, how do we get it to work smoother, fewer breakdowns? And I'm kind of surprised at the inefficiencies I see in companies where companies are just, they get complacent. Maybe it's equipment not being fixed quick enough. Maybe it's guys and crews taking too much time in the yard or making stops they shouldn't be. I'm just shocked at the amount of opportunity for efficiency. And so I want to see production managers that are efficiency minded while also being able to motivate their teams, educate their teams, and get their teams to want to be more efficient, right? You can't just be purely analytical, but you need that on your team. And you need someone who's doing continuous improvement on your team, looking for ways to make all systems work more efficiently to save time. Same in the office. Who's in charge of your admin? Who's ensuring that they're working on the best technology and that all the inefficiency and waste is being driven out of their processes? Margins matter. and you've got to staff your teams with a leader who can create and find those margins. So that's the top 9. Now I've got a 10th just to top it off here. Just like every Olympian, I want you to track your competition. And so what does that look like? It looks like in the spring, doing mystery shopping, seeing how they make proposals, how they price, how quickly they follow up, how they perform, see where you're doing better, see where you're doing worse. It means stopping by their job sites, not just to find their mistakes and look down on them, but also to see where they're doing better quality, more innovative work, so you can bring that back to your place. Now, I know someone's going to text me or email me. You can't just stop at a competitor's job sites. Hey, you interpret my statement the way you think it needs to be interpreted. Obviously, you're not going to go into some random backyard, but plenty of ways for you to see how your competitors are doing. Meet them at industry events. Ask them for advice. Yeah, even if you're the leader or you think you're the leader in your community, you can always learn from someone else, especially young up and coming people, and really everybody. Ask them for advice. Get in conversation. Try to learn something from everybody. So track your competition to see what they're doing, but also to bring back ideas to your company and keep the flame lit underneath your butt, and keep ideas flowing into your brain and into your company that will challenge what may have become the status quo in your company. And so at the time of this recording, the Olympics are not over, but Norway is crushing it. Italy is, oh my God, doing so well. And we know who's in 3rd place and 4th and 5th place. I didn't always watch the Olympics, I will admit, by the way. But I watched them this time because I was somewhere this weekend where I got to hang out. I was with my siblings, actually, in a sibling reunion. And 3 out of my 4 siblings were there. We were at Daytona Beach. We went to the Daytona 500. That was an experience. Maybe I'll do a future podcast on what the takeaways from that. But it was quite interesting. And I will tell you that watching the Olympic races actually gave me a lot of tips for racing my car, in terms of the lines that they take on the luge, etc. A lot of similarities there I was not aware of. So that is the podcast for today. I hope to see you at the Sales Symposium, and make it a great week, month, year. Talk to you guys soon.